broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Got a secret, can you keep it? Swear this one you'll save. Gotta lock it in your pocket, taking this one to the grave.
This week we're a little better, guys.
This is pretty good this week. Yeah, I said, 'cause two can keep a secret if one of them is dead.
See,
we kind of did it.
I was going to say, we were more on point than we ever have been. Well, hello, AfterBuzzers, and welcome to another Pretty Little Liars after show. Of course, it is season 6, and we are, season 5. What am I saying? Episode 6. Yes.
You're so excited.
And we are talking about No Stone Unturned. A great episode tonight. We learned... Yes. We learned someone is alive, and we will get into that. But of course, you can watch us live on YouTube, or you can go on SoundCloud or iTunes, rate, comment, let us know what you're thinking. We love hearing from you, all of your theories, and there are so many good ones for this show. So we'll comment back. We love retweeting you as well, and so you can get at all of us on Twitter, and you can find me at Stephanie Wenger.
Hey guys, you can find me at Kristin_Strange.
Y'all can find me at The Hotshot Dude.
And you can find me at Heather Joy Smith.
I think we should start with the big reveal tonight, which of course was Charles is alive.
Mm-hmm.
Which
we all knew that. Right? Because I felt like that was obvious.
That was obvious. We knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the reveal tonight, but I feel like we debated for a few weeks whether or not he was dead or alive, but I think we all, the last few weeks, have leaned.
How did we not realize? Mona was like, look at the medications he was on. No one will want his liver. Duh. How did we not see that?
Stay
caught that.
Well, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, I know.
That's fine.
Clearly.
Well, you win some, you lose some. So, that being said, though, let's get into this idea that Charles is... And they were pointing their fingers at Leslie. Like, that's who they were after tonight.
Well, all of a sudden they thought it was a girl. All of a sudden it was, a girl. Leslie was in Radley.
Which I loved how Mona, though, was like, I mean, if... Arya took a picture with her in the background. Don't you think that A wanted to be seen?
Yeah,
like, obvious.
Exactly.
Mona came back with such a bang. That was
so good.
She comes back and she just kicks ass, and I was like, yeah, that's why you're my favorite character.
Oh, is she? Okay,
She's
well, now
kind
I know.
of.
Oh, I didn't know she was your favorite.
I don't know, kind of. I think she's a great actress, and I always any scene with Mona is so powerful because.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, her character is very powerful, so that gives her a lot too. But she does a great job at being her.
They also are so smart in the way they utilize her because you don't see her in every episode, but her presence is always kind of there.
Deal, yeah.
Yes. And then when you see her, I think fans get really excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
Mona knows all. I feel like Mona, I still feel like she actually knows everything that is happening, but for whatever reason is not sharing. I think she knows more than she lets on, always.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think she knows now? Something specific or just that Charles is alive? Was that
I think
enough?
she knows more about Charles' history. I think she knows where he's been recently. I think she knows all that. I don't necessarily think she knows exactly who Charles is, but I think she knows more about Charles than she's...
Do you have any predictions on who it will be, or where he will be, or where they'll find him?
Well, I definitely think it's somebody we've already met. I think it's a guy from the past that's gonna come back. I'm still hoping it's Johnny.
Good one.
That's what I'm hoping, guys.
I mean, okay.
We know how much you enjoyed that.
We were talking about Ren being in the A.
I mean,
situation.
I would enjoy seeing him back on my TV screen anytime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. Let's talk about...
I would also enjoy some more Ezra because he's really filled out a lot, if anyone noticed. And I thought he was looking great.
That was
really
he
did look good this episode.
Yeah.
That's because I think it was the first time we've ever seen him not in a collared shirt. Can we all talk about that?
Oh my gosh,
Where's his collared shirt? Had like a tee and a blazer on. I'm like, did somebody go to Urban Outfitters? What's
Somebody's
happening?
starting to dress their age.
I was about to say, I want to get into Ezra's storyline with Arya and his dress. Also, he got the polka dot memo because
We got the
Heather and
polka dots
I are,
today.
and he was in a
Alright,
polka
guys.
dot shirt. We feel really good about it. Don't worry about it.
But one day I didn't
On
match with Ezra.
Tuesdays, we wear polka dots, everyone.
Well, great.
But before we get to that storyline and the rest of the show, we do all of our programming free here at AFTERBUZZ, and you can watch over 60 shows a week, and that's amazing. But we do have a special message from Mazda that Heather's gonna... Or Hannah, sorry.
It's fine. But does driving matter to you? There's over 4 million miles of road in the U.S. to find out. That's a lot of ground to cover. A lot of highways, freeways, wrong ways, long ways. They're all there, waiting to be driven on. So do you take that left turn at Albuquerque or just keep on going? Do you wake up early Sunday morning for a drive before the traffic does? Or do you take the long, winding road home for a change? If driving matters to you, just get out and drive. Why? Because driving matters. Mazda.
Thank you, Hannah.
No
And thank you,
problem.
Mazda.
I didn't think I was going to make it through that one, you guys.
You did it amazingly well, and let's talk about. You made me want to talk about Ezra, so we're jumping ahead to Ezra and talking about. I thought it was actually a super sweet. At first, I was creeped out by it when he walks in and has already written Arya's recommendation.
Yeah.
Because it's just such an overstep. He looked through her application and to know that she needed the recommendation and to write it just felt like, whoa, you're her teacher, you're her boyfriend. Like, there's too much.
I was like, bro, what makes you think you're actually a legit candidate to write her recommendation when you're her teacher that she was sleeping with while she was in high school? I'm like, I'm pretty sure that they're going to see some files about your relationship and disregard this entire recommendation and potentially not let her in because of it.
She was great in class, outside of class,
In bed, out
in the
of bed,
coffee shop, on top of the coffee shop, everywhere.
On top of the coffee shop, on the roof.
on the roof.
But then he takes it kind of a step further, and this is where I thought it kind of got sweet, was that he was like, well, I have your self-portrait, in my office.
I thought that was really kind of creepy.
Oh, see, I thought
I
it was
did.
sweet, because it was like he still has lingering feelings for her, and you know how much I love this couple.
I mean, I love them too, but it's like, after what he had just talked about, it was like, okay, settle down there,
I wrote
buddy.
your recommendation and I have your self-portrait.
I know that's a little pretentious, but still.
Maybe he's Charles.
Maybe.
No, I would
No.
be so
Yeah.
sad.
It can't be.
But, I mean, think about it this way. If you gave a boyfriend a picture of yourself and he had it, framed, and you were like, oh, that's so sweet, my boyfriend has a picture of me on his desk, and then you broke up, would you want him to just, get rid of it right away?
Probably not.
Yeah, that would make you feel good.
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess, it depends on...
No, I think I would be like, take that down, bro, and move on.
It's not like it's not like they broke up. It's like...
I don't care.
I
I'd
feel
be
like if I was Ezra, I would probably take it down just so if Arya
Well, yeah,
saw
he
it.
should.
Yeah,
but-
I feel like for her, she wouldn't want him to take it down, but he probably should have taken
Yeah.
it down. Just so the creep factor,
Yeah.
I'm still lingering on, even though we know they're still going to be together.
Yeah.
Because they have to be still
Together forever.
Exactly.
I'm hoping for an Ezria wedding.
Totally.
That's absolutely
Well,
gonna happen.
what do you think about, is it Dean? No, it's...
I think he's good looking as well.
He's
no,
very good looking.
No, is that the...
Prichard.
Sorry, I think
Yeah.
I'm messing up the name.
No, you're Dean.
Dean, okay.
I think he's very good looking as well.
Yeah.
He wants to... But do you think that Arya has interest in him, or because we see her go back to the coffee shop?
Oh, you mean Clark?
Yes,
You're talking about
sorry.
Clark.
I was
Dean
gonna say,
is
I'm like,
Spencer.
I don't know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Yeah, I was like, I think
Stephanie, she knows faces, not names. It's okay.
and I was like trying to look for it, and then I was like, Dean, no, Clark, you're right.
Clark, yeah.
And so Clark, he clearly is into Arya as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen anything from him that makes me go, he's definitely into her. He's like, hey, let's hang out. I want a friend. But
Yeah.
boys and girls don't have to be friends.
I'm still waiting to figure out his purpose, kind of.
Yeah, he
For being
doesn't
in this
seem
storyline.
as sketchy as some of the other characters on the show.
Right.
I
Like,
wrote that tonight's episode. He seemed more harmless. That he
Yeah.
just wanted to hang out with her. He kind of was joking about the photos and stuff. And I think in his mind, he really thought, oh, she might just be self-conscious about the photos and didn't want me to have them. I think he's harmless.
Yeah, I do too. And I don't think he is a love interest for her. So it makes me wonder then he has to know something or he has to be involved in some way because nobody ever just comes on the show to just be a part of the show.
I felt less like a sketchy vibe from him, and I felt like more they may be setting it up for a love triangle between Arya, Ezra, and Clark.
Well, and also tonight, with Ezra, oh my gosh, I wrote her name down somewhere on my notes.
It's Nicole.
Nicole, thank you. And Nicole, at the very end, obviously Arya, you could tell, was being jealous of the situation, so maybe she's going to go to Clark, kind of get that little emotional...
Yeah, maybe they'll get a love square going.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think in the end, though, and I'm not alone in this, Arya, Ezra, that's who I want to see by the end of this.
I'm so surprised at the amount of people that are not pro Arya Ezra.
Oh, I've read your comments. I'm well aware.
I know.
I'm so surprised. I thought that it was obvious that they were like soulmates, like one true pairing. Kind of thing.
I think that it's the start of their relationship that has people.
Some people's relationships start bad.
I will always love the start of their relationship.
Oh, it's so
always.
Yes.
Like, I dreamed about that in high school. If I didn't have any hot teachers.
I had a really hot teacher, you guys. My sophomore year in high school, my math teacher looked just like Ezra.
What?
Mr. Borner. He was
Mr.
so...
Warner or Borner?
Borner.
Mr.
Borner.
Borner.
He was so hot,
My
you guys.
mathematician.
And he was probably about like the same age Ezra is in comparison to us in high school.
Uh-huh.
And all the girls in that class were like, oh, he's so hot.
I did have one kind of hot teacher, Mr. Quinto. He taught chemistry. And we had it. No, just kidding.
I feel like now we need to...
But he was a little too old.
I feel like we've had our AfterBuzz confessionals.
That's
But
I could totally see where this was going. I mean,
Brooke Stars loves Ezria.
Okay.
Sheena is so pro Ezria.
Thank you, pro Arya, Ezria.
It's my
people.
favorite
Love
ship.
it.
Yeah.
So that being said, let's jump back into this main part of this episode, which was this notion that Charles is alive and that the girls are in this laboratory and they steal the car. And let's jump back. I feel like we kind of took a jump forward a little bit too much. So I want to go back to Hanna stealing the car so they can get to this. It's a laboratory. Like, that's,
Since when do they have animal testings on college campuses?
Yeah, I thought that was gone a long time ago.
At my college, they did.
They did?
Yeah.
I don't think
there were protests.
I don't think mine did, but I don't think I ever made it to that part of campus, so it doesn't matter.
I never found myself in a lab.
Yeah, I believe there were protests about it. That's why I
couldn't know about it.
I took anthropology in college.
Yeah.
I wasn't around live animals.
No, neither was I. But
I was in acting classes, so you can imagine what I was doing. I was doing animal studies instead of studying animals.
So again, we're really going for our true confessionals today, guys.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
So let's talk about their laboratory and how creepy that was with the okay, I have to say I kind of lost it a bit when on Arya's shoulder.
Yes.
The rat.
I screamed like.
Yeah, it was too much for me, to be honest.
It didn't bug me for some reason.
Why didn't she let the
Thanks,
bunnies
Heather.
out first? Let's test with something that's not gonna kill
I'm
me.
like, you went for the raccoon first.
Yeah.
You know how like unfriendly raccoons are?
Right.
Yeah.
They're evil.
Yeah.
So that was.
Sorry, I wanted to read everybody's comments. It's like I want to know what everybody's saying.
I know, I
also.
have to, like,
Someone
veer
really-
my eyes away from the screen, otherwise
Yeah.
I would just read the comments to everybody.
That's how much we like what you guys have to say.
Yeah,
We're distracted.
yes. So let's talk about this idea.
car.
The car, that I thought the valet kind of handed it over super.
Hashtag Grand Theft Hannah.
Yeah.
That was the best part.
Right. But don't you guys feel like valets would do that?
Yes.
Like, they don't. They're not
They
like,
never
is this
ask
your
you.
car?
Right.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
I mean,
normally I have my ticket anyways, but you just like go to them, or I don't know. I guess I've never had a valet be like, oh, I've never lost my ticket, but still.
I'm trying to think of. I haven't lost my ticket. But oftentimes you hand them the ticket and then you see a car arrive up and you can be like, that's my car. And
Right.
they don't ever like cross-check that
Yeah.
No.
situation.
Never.
And
yeah.
she was like, love you. She was flirting with him, showing him her bra strap, and he was like, oh.
I feel like living in LA, we're like valet experts, by the way.
Like, this could totally happen in ballet.
Yeah.
Everywhere has ballet. My doctor's office has ballet.
Yeah, it's in LA, that is a common occurrence.
Yeah.
So let's see how, so Hanna gets in the car, she finds the disguises and then the animal cages in the back, and she realized.
Which could totally be for her animal experiments.
That's what I felt like. I thought it was a big stretch to say.
It's weird that she has, like, all those pairs of glasses, but.
Yeah, what was the deal with those? Did they ever say why she had all those pairs of
No,
glasses?
she just wants to look cool. It's in. It's like
I
the
mean,
style. It's
I
what the
was
kids are
gonna say,
wearing
like,
these days.
Yeah, that's true.
But do you need 20 pairs? You lose
What?
the one fake pair, and then you're like, well, shoot, now I gotta go find another
Maybe
fake
she
pair.
got a deal. Maybe they came in that box like that.
Buy
She-
one, get
yeah,
20
buy one,
free.
get 20
Amazon, like a 10
Costco, like bonus pack.
But it could be just accessories. Like, I didn't really think that was so weird to have,
Yeah.
because I feel like now people use glasses as an accessory. Like, that's not that
true.
strange to me. It's like sunglasses just without that. Like,
Right.
Yeah, it didn't
I
seem
feel like-
odd.
They're more of an accessory now. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, people do that.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
fake wear glasses. I mean,
Yeah, I didn't have an issue with that. It was more the cages that were kind of a
the
weird.
cages are creepy.
Yeah, and I couldn't figure out why, though, they jumped from it's an animal to they want to encage us. That felt like a strange.
Because
Well,
they've
it felt-
always been
yeah.
in cages. They were in jail. Then they were in their little
Right. The
bedroom
dollhouse.
cell
Yeah.
type bedroom.
oh,
thing.
this is actually good. Brooke says that maybe she wears glasses to look smarter because she is trying to play stable, as Mona said.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay,
She
that's
thinks
fair.
that it makes her smarter.
Yeah, that's true. But I feel like with the cages and everything, the girls are just always looking for the worst and for everybody to be A. I feel like they never actually think somebody's A or find clues that somebody may be A and then be like, well, let's really think about this. Why would they do this? Da, da, da. They're always like, it's A. They're A.
They're definitely A.
Yeah, no matter what,
100%.
they get like one little clue and they're like, that's it.
Yeah.
A.
It's
Every
Allison.
time.
It's 100% Allison. It's Andrew. It's 100%
Yeah.
Andrew.
Right.
Every time.
No, I mean that seems to be the notion of the show, and then they move on to
Yeah.
whoever the next A candidate
You'd think
is.
at this point, though, they'd be like a little slower to accuse. Maybe look at the facts.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like with everything they've been through, that maybe that's the reason why they're
Yeah.
so desperate for.
Yeah, they need to find out who A is. So anyone will do. They just need to know.
Yeah, and so they're quick to pinpoint. But then going into that lab, that was really just like, I felt like a scenario where it could have gotten so much creepier.
Totally.
Like really quickly. But Mona was there and had this big revelation. And so now are they going to search for Charles? Is that going to be the rest of the season?
I hope so. I would like to focus on one person, them trying to figure out how they're A, where they are, instead of like all these different jumping around and misleading clues and then different big reveals every single episode. I would like to just like focus on one big reveal.
Well, we're already in episode 6, and in this first half of the season, we'll go to 10 episodes. So that tells me that maybe that is
We're getting close.
the
Yeah.
back half
Well,
of this.
I think that the second half of this season is just them recovering.
Right.
And I would like to get some, if we're going to focus on Charles and him potentially being alive and, you know, with Mr. DiLaurentis and that letter or the card and everything like that, I would like to start seeing some flashbacks of Charles as a child.
Absolutely. I want to
Yes.
see
Yeah.
what happened. But it does look like Mr. DiLaurentis really has no idea. He thinks he's dead.
Does he though? Because why
Well,
would he have that
he
freak out
thought-
and bury that card?
He thought he was dead.
I don't buy it. I don't think
You don't think so?
No.
I feel like he must know. Maybe he's surprised that they're figuring it out, but
Yes.
but I think that he has always known that his son was alive.
Yeah. I think there are a lot of things that he doesn't know about Charles and the things that Mrs. D was hiding from him about Charles and like housing him and all of that. I do not think he knows about those things. But I think he knows that he was alive and is still alive.
I still feel like Mr. D's like reaction to things kind of lead me to think that he didn't know. I don't know.
That's what I kind of felt too. Like he seemed really
He seemed really mad and angry at
and
the
he's
whole
and he looks
situation.
like he's trying to figure things out because he's going off crossing things off. Those
Right.
like he's trying to figure something out too. So he's
Yeah.
working just as hard. We're just not seeing it.
And I feel like the scene with Emily where he's like, "Did you see who was in my
Yeah.
car?" Did you see? Like, That's weird.
Yeah.
Like, if you knew all of this, like, I don't know. And she's, like, obviously had no clue.
Well, I think now he's trying to kind of get ahead of the girls in a lot of ways. He wants to know where his son is so that he's one step ahead of where they are.
I
would
still
agree
don't
with that.
understand, though, I understand what Charles would have against Allie. I don't understand what Charles would have against the girls.
I don't either.
Right, like, okay, yeah, they were her friends, but what?
Maybe, you know how we've always assumed that Allie was kind of a mean girl within their group, for lack of a better description? You know, like, she was the queen bee, and we've said that a lot on the show. I'm wondering if he viewed it in a different way. Maybe he thought the girls were mean to Allie, and so he was being, like, the protective brother.
But he was attacking her first. It started with her.
Yeah, but he ultimately protected her. I mean, in some ways, because she died, and she wasn't a part of what had happened for...
But didn't she die to get away from the person who was attacking her?
I don't know, but I'm loving the air quotes so much. Die. I know that I do it all the time, and I just watch myself do it on there. I'm like, we're all like, that. Everything is scripted, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe it happened, maybe it didn't.
Yeah,
Maybe.
well, I mean, she's obviously alive now.
Yeah.
So we can say she fake died, or died in air quotes. and
I just realized that people listening to us in the podcast can't see our fake air quotes.
That's probably
As
for
we
the
say,
best.
died.
right. So it's interesting to me that I think in some ways she was more protected than the other one because they've been through so much and went to the dollhouse without her.
Maybe.
But I don't think that her protection came from A. I feel like her protection, like she was running from someone. She was running from A. That's why she left in the first place. Her protection came from Noel, as we saw in Cece, and maybe, I don't know.
Whatever it is, he's just, considering that he was in Radley, I think whenever they do find him or bring Charles to light, like, he obviously has some mental issues. So
Yes,
whatever
I
his
mean,
reason may just be one that he's, like, created in his mind rather than an actual legitimate reason. I would love for it to be a legit reason and for them to go back and do that whole, like, history trace explanation kind of thing, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Yeah. At this point, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. No,
Throw everything up in the air. What's happening?
I feel like I've heard so many people tweet at me with that same reaction, just frustrated, wanting to know.
Just hold on a little bit longer, guys.
Yeah, because I feel like they've teased this, like,
Yeah.
Charles reveal for so long.
If we don't get a Charles reveal,
Yeah.
mark my words, Marlene King.
You will not have happy fans.
Yeah, I was gonna
at
say.
all.
Because we've been told we're going to get I want the information, and I will stick around to see what happens, because I want to see who gets married, and I really want to see a Ezria wedding. But I want to know I want this to be wrapped up. Like, I'm done with this storyline. Let's get on to the next.
It's interesting.
It's just frustrating. Let's
Yeah.
move on.
I like that you're just like, I'm done with this.
Done.
I'm done. Let's go.
After part A, I'm done.
I'm clearly in this till the end of Pretty Little Liars. Let's be honest. Like, I'm gonna be watching this show till the
I mean, I
end.
didn't say I wouldn't watch. I'm
Just frustrated.
I'd be mad the whole next part of the season.
Angry tweets. All right. I hear ya. I have some angry tweets about Sarah because I was saying tonight that I just don't trust her.
Don't either. I don't
She's
either.
so
I'm so glad we all agree,
shady.
guys.
I do. I'm just kidding.
I was like, hold on,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to explain this
No.
because she just like the way she says things, and I just don't trust her about the whole family situation. I don't trust that she got hit by the car even. I just
She's
don't
really-
trust anything.
Yeah, she's really good about setting herself up into situations that make her look like a victim and then crying about it and then like agreeing with whatever Emily says to make Emily think that she's not guilty. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
that one time that they went into the alley after the tattoo thing and she was like, I don't know, I'm a victim too. So Emily felt like she was a victim. And then tonight when Sarah was crying about like, she was telling Emily that story that she felt like somebody was following her. And then, sorry you guys, I'm like sick and I'm like wheezing as I'm talking. But
I like it.
Thanks. And then Emily was like, well, you know, we think she's a girl, da-da-da. And Sarah like cries about everything and is like, yeah, no, I think that is the car. You're like, no, you wouldn't have thought that unless she picked up the phone and showed you.
Yeah.
You don't think that was the car. And then when she like thought she had the chip and Emily, I'm like really having a hard time. And Emily was like feeling for it. I don't think she actually wanted to make out with Emily. She turned around to make out with Emily so Emily would stop feeling for the dang chip.
Yeah, she knew exactly what she was doing.
I'm sorry, you're real worked up about it because
I was going to say, like, you went from like...
That's a good point. She was probably totally making out with her. Like, oh, she's feeling for my chip. I better make out with her.
Yeah.
See, I didn't get
Maybe she put
that
the chips
from
in
her. I
No,
got,
but that makes sense.
it does make sense. But I got that she misread the situation. That she was like, oh, Emily's into me.
Nope.
Like, rather.
I think Emily really is into her, though.
Yeah.
I think that Emily shouldn't be dating right now. I think that she should go on that trip to Thailand or wherever it was, too.
I think every girl that Emily starts dating, we're like, I don't think she should be dating right now.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
I don't
2
think
episodes
any
later-
of them to be dating. Like, the first month you get out, or how long have they been out? A month or a month and a half or 2 months. You don't just go and date. Like, that's not what you should be doing.
I don't know. It's just it's all about for me who they're dating, and I just don't trust Sarah, so I want her to be with somebody. And
A new relationship is not a good idea. Like Hanna and Caleb, I get them going back.
Let's talk about how steamy that was tonight.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was. And you guys know I'm not a Caleb.
That was so
fan.
hot.
But that was hot.
We were
Legit.
laughing though because he's like trying to get her attention, so he's just gonna seduce her. That's his technique.
Well, go for it.
I still think he's up to something. He
Yeah.
is on the A-team faux show.
No, he
yes,
can't.
he is. He
I'll
is.
be
He
so
is. He
sad.
is. He is.
He can't.
Like all those conversations that Spencer and Hannah were having, and Spencer was like, but why is he like doing this and why is he doing that? And Hannah's like, he's suffocating me, da da da, and he wants to do all this for me. I'm like, yeah, because he like needs to be all up in your grill right now because he's A.
But he backed
No, he's
off
not
a little
A,
bit.
but he's on the A team.
well,
No.
what I found so strange about it, and maybe I'm totally wrong, so tweet at me if you think I'm just crazy, but was that like the advice from her mother was to like get back to normal life, essentially, like that once she yelled at her and that was like more like their normal relationship.
So like, let's have sex because that's our normal relationship.
Yeah.
But like that was just like it felt so weird that like he took her mom's advice that way. I was just like, oh, like this is a hot scene, but like it's coming from advice from. Okay.
That's totally what I thought. It's like, oh my gosh, they're totally gonna do it on Hannah's bed right now. But Mrs. Marin said it was okay.
She's like awfully.
The things you guys are saying is hilarious.
She's like awfully easily giving up her daughter. Like here, he can sleep over. Here's a key to our house. Like just get him a hotel room and buy him some condoms and lube.
Exactly.
All right.
Maybe she did.
The condoms was okay. You took it too.
So I want to circle back and ask.
We need to add a PG-13 rating to our show from now on.
I was like, we're going down a strange path, so I'm going to circle it back and ask, from some of the comments that I'm reading, do we think that all the girls are actually chipped? Is Sarah chipped?
I don't think she's
No,
chipped.
because no.
No.
She's involved.
She's involved, exactly. She's not chipped.
You know what though? Someone had said maybe she has Stockholm syndrome. Do you know where that?
She falls in love with her captor.
Yeah, but maybe kind of like a different. You know,
But
that's who she learns to trust.
So then you think she's in love with A?
Well, not in. I don't know. Like maybe not in love, but like maybe some kind of version of Stockholm
Like,
syndrome,
I
where
can
like that's who she trusts, that's who she cares about.
Right.
Like that's her family because it has been for 4 years.
Dude, I can totally get
even
behind that.
even if she has been locked up in a dungeon and miserable, like that's who she's been around. She hasn't had anybody else in her life, and maybe that's what's causing the rift at home. Is like,
I almost hope
Or
that
maybe-
they do that because that would just be such an.
How
effed up,
twisted would
like,
it be, though, if, like, she, when she refers to her mom, is really referring to, like, Charles as, like, her parental figure?
yeah.
Interesting.
Oh.
Like, Charles doesn't want me anymore, kind of thing. Like, my parents don't want me.
yeah.
That's interesting. It's like a crush never
Right.
realized, or like an obsession.
Yeah.
I dig it.
That's a very, I have to say, even for Pretty Little Liars, that's pretty dark.
Someone
I
said
like
that
that.
a couple weeks ago on the chat, and I thought it was really smart.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That was an original? I'm just kidding.
No,
I thought it was.
Wasn't it one of your theories and predictions? I have a prediction.
do I come up with theories about Stockholm syndrome? Let's be real. Let's be realistic.
Only fertility. That's it.
Only fertility theories. That's all I've got.
Guys, we're really taking a lot of twists tonight.
We are, whatever.
All right,
We're
so
theorizing.
Yeah.
I want to ask about Nicole and all of this, because she comes back, offers this trip. Is she just there to offer a trip and get Emily to think about Sarah and that she can't leave Sarah, or does she have some other role? And also, she seems to be stirring the pot with Arya and Ezra.
I feel like that's almost it, that she's just using this episode as, like, a catalyst for these girls' emotions to, like, remind them of things that they're, like, feeling. Because I don't think she's going to remain...
But I like her accent.
Yeah, me
she's
too.
so cute.
She's so
I wish
cute.
she was she's so cute.
I wish we could have her
Yeah, I
in
want
a
her
bigger
more.
role, but not as a bad person.
Yeah.
She's cute. But yeah, I don't think she'll stick around long.
No. She's got to get off to, be a humanitarian and build homes or
Yeah, she's got to go to Thailand.
feed orphans or whatever
Wherever they're
it
going.
was. She's
What
doing.
I wonder, though, is when we met Ezra, he was all about the travel. Like, he was talking about Arya and back in the pilot, that he had just been traveling and how, all of this, and how much he enjoyed travel. Right? That was in the pilot.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
And so I wonder if
Maybe
they
he'll
do.
go?
No. No.
Don't even think it.
that was not where I was going.
Okay.
I was going to say, like, maybe they forged some sort of connection. He realizes that I don't want this to happen, but that Arya is too young for him, or that this girl, there's some other connection there that he doesn't necessarily have with Arya. I think they will circle back to Arya.
Yeah.
I'm loving your comments, by the way. Everyone,
Yeah.
every time
This
I
is
say
actually a good question. Where do we think that the liars will end up after the time jump?
That's what I'm constantly thinking during every episode, and when we talk even here too, I'm constantly thinking, like, is that going to play in the 4-year jump?
well, all I hope for is that we get a Charles solution by the end of this.
Yes.
We have to, right? Because
And
there's
then-
no way we can miss 4 years of potentially there being no A and then jump back in and then still not know, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We can't do that.
I think Emily will go off to volunteer or the army. I think Spencer will go away to Oxford and do her smart people thing and, like, come back, be like, oh, I'm in law school now, or my master's degree. I think Arya will be, like, a world traveler, photographer, like, traveling on an internship. And I think Hanna will be the one that was gonna, like, do fashion or something, but ends up, I think she would be the one to get pregnant.
Yeah, I think she's
not-
definitely going to get pregnant first.
Like, I think she would
Clearly,
be.
after
I think
this
she would be the
episode.
one to be like, "Oh, I'm 21. I want to get married, and now I'm 22, and let's have a baby."
Right.
Maybe.
Because she never had that family, so like now she's trying to like recreate it.
I think Caleb's going to end up being involved. We're like,
Oh, yeah. That's
and then
true.
she's going to go through some, like, crazy depression, sleeping around, staying in Rosewood. That's what I think is going to happen.
It's a wild prediction right
you
there.
know, you know what? I don't necessarily think that she's gonna get married to Caleb.
Oh, no.
I didn't say that, but I mean, I'm not saying no, but I'm saying maybe like she would be the one to go off and meet a guy. She would meet like some like wealthy trust fund kid and.
I don't think, though, I think Caleb will still be in the show, even if he's
I do
not,
too,
yeah.
not
Oh, yeah.
with.
He's too big of a character in the
Yeah.
show to be just dismissed after the time jump.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see how they age, like people like Ezra, because that's going to be interesting.
Because he'll go from like his 20s to his 30s.
Right, and
Yeah.
that's a bigger, I feel like a different, it will look
trying
different
to
in
say?
some ways. I don't know. It'll be interesting that
He'll be like, but how old will he be? How old is he now? 28?
so 38, almost 40?
No.
No, it's only a 4-year jump.
It's only, oh, that's right. Why am I
So he'll
saying a
be
10-year jump?
32.
He'll be like 32. He'll look the
He'll
same.
probably look the
Okay.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
He's not
Um,
even 28 in real life.
Well, thank you so much for commenting on everything tonight, but also you can tweet at us, and actually I want to hear this week, and I'm sure all these girls do as well, about what your predictions are for the time jump, because we've been talking about it nonstop,
Yeah.
and we love hearing everybody's thoughts on that. So along with all your other theories, let us know what you're thinking about where these girls will be after the time jump.
Yeah.
For
Hashtag
sure.
ABTVPLL.
Yes. Maybe it is time for some news and gossip.
Yeah.
Okay.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Kristin, you have a big one for us, but let's do these first.
Okay.
Two.
Yeah.
So we saw paparazzi pictures this week of Lucy Hale being blonde. She still has the cute, chopped off, like lob look
Yeah.
going on. But we were talking about, is the blonde something that's happening for after the jump? Because they just started filming for the time jump. So will she be blonde?
I think so. Yeah.
You think so?
I think I almost 100% positive that's why. I mean, why else would they let her dye her hair like that?
Well, yeah, because I just wonder if she can also wear a wig on the show, though. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is a good excuse. I don't think it's like a reason, but she was probably like, hey, I want to dye my hair. And they were like, you have to wait for the time jump.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then you can do whatever
Like,
you want.
hey, I want to cut my hair. Oh, wait till you're in the dollhouse.
Yeah.
Every time there's a change, we gotta wait for those big storylines. Yeah, I'm excited to see if that's the case or if she's wearing some sort of wig or what's going on with her hair. I know it's such like a minor point, but love Lucy Hale's style, so that's
Right.
always exciting to see. And then Troyan has a new movie role. She'll be starring in a film called Sister Cities, and it's with Cindy Crawford's daughter. It's her first role. She's 13, so that'll be really exciting.
Are
And
they sisters?
I don't know exactly what characters each of them are playing, so tweet me, but it's about estranged sisters, so you can assume, yes, who all come back home after their mother's death to deal with the aftermath of that.
She's 13. Where's she coming home from?
I don't know, maybe she's a daughter who's already,
Maybe she's in boarding school.
or she is somehow home and all the others are coming back. I'm not sure exactly what roles they're playing, but thought that was exciting news. And Kristin, I'm excited to hear your news and gossip.
So, I'm going to try not to spoil anything, but I'm sure a lot of people saw that there was a PA that released a whole lot of spoilers about what could be the ending. We don't know. There's been no confirmation about whether or not they were they got fired for failing a drug test, and so they were releasing all this information on Reddit about what happened. So people were asking them questions about who A is and how that's related and what happens after the time jump and all this stuff, and they pretty much said everything that happened in this episode, which they probably could have pulled from the previews, but I don't know. A lot of what they said, if you want to be spoiled, go and look it up. It's just, just Google it.
We certainly don't want to spoil.
I'm not gonna announce it so that you guys.
Sent to us?
That's what I.
Y'all, just go look at it. She sent it to me, and I was like, I don't even know what this is. Just read it.
But the interesting thing about it is that same day that this production assistant released all this information, Marlene Instagrammed a picture of a nail, and it was something about karma.
But before that, she did Instagram a picture that says, no one's been fired, no one's released the identity of Charles. So she did say that it wasn't true, but, I mean, she lies about a lot. So
She has to.
Yeah.
I mean,
Marlene's the biggest pretty little liar.
Well, yeah.
That's why we all think Marlene is A.
I mean, I think that it's all plausible. It's completely plausible. But I wonder if everything that they do, if everything was true, do you think that they're going to retape?
No. I mean, that's so much production money lost if they retape. I think they're just going to...
I mean, they would just...
I think they might.
I don't know. Is the show like Pretty Little Liars?
Yeah.
I mean, also, it depends. I mean, some things can be changed in editing or brief reshoots, I could see.
Right.
I don't think they're going to go and reshoot entire episodes.
But do you think that they're going to change who A is or the way it happens? Because they gave pretty good details about who A was and what happens and how they're revealed. And
I don't want to be spoiled quite yet, but I wonder if it will change going forward. Yes, we'll know for these next 10 episodes what's going on if this person is in fact what is allegedly they're saying is correct. But then after that...
Also, I thought it was funny that they didn't think that they were going to get sued because they're definitely going to get
sued. That's not something you can... Yeah, this is all alleged.
They were like, no, I didn't sign any kind of legal agreement.
You definitely did.
Yeah, exactly. To work on a show like that, you're signing a million non-disclosures, just to be totally clear.
This shows you what an idiot this person
I know.
was.
Yeah. But interesting nonetheless, if you're interested in that type of thing, if you want to know the theories that are out there.
I liked it. It was fun to read.
Something to check out for sure.
But I don't want to know, so don't tweet me.
Yeah. I'm like, I kind of want to stay away from it. I just feel like I want to enjoy the show the way that it was meant to, but whatever, if you feel the need to.
I couldn't stay away.
Yeah. So that being said, let's go into our own predictions. I think that's fun.
I feel like we did them
I feel like this whole entire show is predictions.
AFTERBUZZ TV.
Predictions.
I know. I feel like we've done a lot of them tonight, but I am going to say I think by the end of this first half of the season, the summer season, if you will, Ezra and Arya will be reunited, and I think that Nicole is kind of a road stop along this road, but
I don't know necessarily if by the end. I think maybe by the beginning of the next.
Okay,
or
so
like we'll
after,
see their reuniting.
After the 4-year time jump, we'll see that they're reunited. We won't actually see them reuniting, if that makes sense. Like, we will see that they are...
I hope that we see them reuniting. Maybe they, like, come back together.
I think it's gonna be a big old mess for the until the very last episode before the time jump. Like, just a mess all over the place and all these reveals that are irrelevant. And then the last episode, it's gonna be like a nice little package and they tie a little bow on it, but it's all gonna be shoved into one episode that we're gonna be like, what? No? Now time jump?
And that's the time that, like, we're going to need a 2-hour after show to dissect all of this.
I feel like they're probably going to do the same thing they did to us, what was that, the end of last season or the first episode of this season, where they compacted every single little thing into one episode. And we even said on our panel, like, we needed 2 hours of this. Like, this was way too crunched together.
Right. I feel like that's been an issue this season for me personally, is that some episodes seem to have so much going on, and then other episodes are a little less filled, and I wish there was, like, a little more balance in the season. But that's just, like, it's a minor complaint. I kind of love the direction it's going. I'm so excited for the time jump because I feel like it's going to be kind of a restart for the show. I am loving what everyone is reading.
I don't know what you guys are writing right now, but these two are
We are
cracking
twins,
up.
fraternal.
Yeah.
They got us. Damn it.
Are they saying that you guys are twins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. But I have to say that I hope that we don't get a bow on everything. Like, I think that it'll be interesting to see what's left unanswered before this time jump, and that's something that I'm most curious about on the show.
Mm-hmm. Danielle predicts that Sarah will take 7 showers in the next episode. Easy.
She needs to.
Yeah, she takes so many showers. Who also thinks that that's a really awkward place for a tattoo?
So awkward. And it's, like, still bright red. I'm like,
I know.
Stop. It's gross.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the whole tattoo thing. Also, it somehow connects them in an interesting way, the tattoos, like that they know that each of them have it. And
Yeah, they're like bonded.
Yeah.
Getting a tattoo together is very...
Yeah, so...
I don't know, I've never gotten a tattoo before, but...
Me neither.
Yeah, I know, I don't have a tattoo. But
I have quite a few.
well then
Do
that's...
you feel bonded with the people you get them with?
Well, I do have 2 bro tats, so yes, actually I do.
See, there you go. I wasn't wrong in my assessment of being bonded after getting tattoos. I feel really good about that. But I feel like this episode, I think we've pretty much covered, right?
Yeah.
What's going on.
Everything plus our lives.
I know, I was going to say, you got a little bit
Confessions
of a...
of the PLL panel.
I was going to
We'll
say...
have to save that for Twitter.
some confessionals. But thank you so much for watching and hanging out with us tonight. It's always fun to talk about Pretty Little Liars. And of course, you can find AfterBuzz on Twitter at AfterBuzz TV, and you can find me at Stephanie Wenger.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Kristin_Strange.
Y'all can find me on Instagram and Twitter at the Hotshot Dude.
And you can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Heather Joy Smith.
See you all next
Bye.
week. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.